Hi, everybody. I hope
Good morning, everybody.
that everyone is having a great summer.
Absolutely. So, we are here to talk about some of the most commonly asked questions related to extra virgin olive oil. There's quite a few, misconceptions, and there's tons of information floating around out there. So, we just want to delve into probably the most relevant and important ones related to health and the culinary and freshness questions around what you can and can't do with olive oil. I define good quality extra virgin olive oil, Oro de Milas, being a great product to define that. But there's the culinary benefits of extra virgin olive oil, which are so good for you on so many levels, and it enhances the flavors of whatever it is you're cooking or using it on. But there's also the nutritional and health benefits. So there are two different defined categories of benefit from extra virgin olive oil. And so we want to talk about both because both are relevant to people's decision on what they're going to use. So one of the first questions is Evo really good for your heart and your health? I mean, that's kind of like the basic fundamental question. And the answer is,
Yes,
absolutely it
yes.
is. There's so many studies.
Over time and time, and it's been proved because the Evo has been around the world that we know historically almost 6,000 years or more, right? So people use this Evo over centuries in cooking, drinking, with everything, not just for benefits of cooking, drinking, but also they use for medicine, they use for cosmetics, they use for light, for lamps, right? So it had many different functions over the years. And suddenly, of course, when the seed oils took over a couple hundred years ago, they started burying the importance of the olive oil.
Yeah, I mean the health benefits are documented beyond just
Right.
the anecdotal information that it's part of a Mediterranean diet and is heart healthy. There's actually hard facts and figures to back it up, and numerous studies have been done that have quantified and qualified that. So I find today that it's so easy to just go on to any of the search engines and you can pull up whatever study you want. You can pull up studies that say it's bad. You can pull up studies that say it's good. So the consumer has to really be the one that, parses through all that and comes up with a decision. Our personal take is, and our research has indicated, and our health has indicated that it is healthy and it does help us. We do, physical exams every year. We check and keep track of our heart health, our cholesterol levels.
Yeah.
All of it is optimized because we are using extra virgin olive oil, high phenolic, and Oro de Milas is an emblem of all of
Yeah,
that.
since we've been using completely or totally extra virgin olive oil, our healthy HDL is raised up.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
very important, and that already shows, with our lab reports with the prior to the extra virgin olive oil and afterwards. So
yeah.
that's documented.
I mean, it's personal, and it's as far as we're concerned, we're passionate about the idea of people need to see and try for themselves. And the important thing is to recognize that there are huge health benefits,
Yeah,
but it takes time and it takes commitment and it takes substitution of extra
lifestyle
virgin olive
change.
oil. Well, it's complete lifestyle change, and dietary changes is a big part of it. You have to replace saturated fats and you have to start looking at your overall lifestyle. But the health benefits are there. We have numerous testimonials from clients who have started using our oil, our extra virgin olive oil, on an ongoing basis, daily basis, and they are seeing health benefits.
I mean, just this week, a client called me and told me that he used to be in checkup with colonoscopy every 2 years because he grows polyps, like 2 to 3 polyps a year. But when he went this time, polyps were gone. And then his physician asked him what happened, what he has done different. He told him, and he told me, he said, all I did last 2 years was taking your olive oil every morning, 1 tablespoon. So I am just repeating what he told
Yeah,
me.
it's
And I
testimonial.
believe, it does have a lot of health benefits, but it's not, you cannot do 1 month. It has to be your lifestyle
Part of a
change.
lifestyle change. Yeah,
It has to
absolutely.
be consistent because this is very natural. It's not like you take a pill, the things goes away. It's constantly you have to have this type of lifestyle every day and a commitment like he did. So he said he swear is the only thing he has changed in his diet
Right.
was add our olive oil every day. So he of course ordered a lot more bottles from me because he was happy the result. And then I have another client from here that she called me up and told me the similar story because she has an arthritis. She started using our oil every day, 1 tablespoon in the morning. She said her arthritis pains are gone. But you cannot, same thing, right? You cannot stop it. This has to be continuing all the time.
Right. Yeah.
It's a
And we
part
got
of your life
right.
now.
And we want to make clear that we are not making medical claims here because we cannot,
Right.
categorically say that these things actually do make your health that much better. I believe it. I think the information that we've received and the studies that we've reviewed and just how our bodies have responded to it are what we're basing
Right.
it on. And thousands of years use by so many different cultures has got to have some relevant, information
Real.
and
Yes.
benefit that is real. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, to answer your question, it is really good in heart health.
Heart health, brain health, completely.
Yeah. And being the year of food is medicine, olive oil is medicine. Oro de Milas is the best medicine. So we also get asked a lot of questions about, is olive oil fake in the stores or is it real? And this has been another one of those ongoing debates that I think the seed oil consortiums do a great job of putting fear out there to the consumers about what you should and shouldn't buy. And there is some validity to, in the past, there has been some challenges with purity of the extra virgin olive oil that you see on the shelves. But by and large, I think there's been a big change in how consumers look for and what they identify, and they are getting a lot better at having the extra virgin olive oil on the shelf being exactly what it says it is. So, there's a lot that the consumer can do. Is you have to be an advocate for your own product purchases. You have to know what the harvest date is. It should say it on there. You should be able to see
Original, PDO.
PDO. It should be single origin from a producer, named producer, and you want it in dark glass bottles. Anything in clear bottles or plastic, I would stay away from because there's problems with the degradation of the oil in both those settings. So coupled with all of that, the bottom line is taste. And, there are some stores out there, specialty stores primarily, that will do taste testing, which is wonderful because that's really the ultimate goal, is to get you to taste it. I know when people taste Oro de Milas, they buy it. So it's usually the best way to make that happen.
Right. Taste should be green and refreshing.
It should have a grassy, peppery, slightly bitter flavor and have a little bit of pungent, pepperiness in your throat, which is the polyphenols. If it's, dry, waxy, and it has a flat taste or buttery, that's usually a sign that it's not a good oil or it's rancid oil. So,
or is a rancid like white wine?
Right. It's got a wine. Yeah, there's different.
Winey.
There's
It's called
different categories
Right.
of defect, but for the average consumer, there's a huge difference between a good, high quality extra virgin olive oil like Oro de Milas and something that's either cut with seed oils or has gone rancid.
Okay, but there is also a big gap about the taste in here. People are used to having mediocre olive oil, and they like that buttery taste because they could be a late harvest oil. Most of the time, that's what you're going to see it in the stores, late harvest, because you get more oil, right? And people used to that taste. So when they taste the really true extra virgin olive oil, they think that's the bad one.
Mhm.
So because that bitterness, the pungentness, the pepperness, they think acid is high in a bad oil. But we know you cannot physically taste the acidic oil. It's only chemically they can identify in the lab if their oil acid level is high or not. All you can taste and smell of the freshness or rancid.
Right.
So it feels fresh, green, like, green tomato leaves, green banana leaves, green cut grass, then it's good.
I would say that in most of the tastings that we've conducted with Oro de Milas, people get that distinction immediately.
Right.
Like people,
Freshness.
there's some people that, like you say, they're so used to others, but by and large, most of the people, as soon as they smell our oil, and they go, "Oh, I've never smelled oil like this," or and once they taste it, they're like, "Oh, I've never tasted oil like this." So their frame of reference, as Emily describes, is absolutely true. It's usually rancid
Mediocre.
oil or mediocre oil, and then as soon as they taste a good oil, they get it and become consumer purchasers of our product.
Right.
So it's about those things, and ultimately the biggest thing is taste testing. So you buy a
Right.
bottle of oil, and buy a couple different brands and compare the two. Buy Oro de
Right.
Milas and compare it to any of them, and I guarantee you're going to think it's the best.
Right. 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 So there's another myth we always been talking about the cooking with Evo.
Is
We
high heat harmful? What's the smoke point? I mean, we get professional chefs that come to our tasting events, and they are indoctrinated in most of the culinary schools in this country because there's a lot of funding by seed oil consortiums to these cooking schools to use seed oils. And so they are prepped and ready to tell us that you can't use olive oil to cook with. And we spend a lot of time trying to make them understand that that's a fallacy.
Right, because Harvard University has done a research, and then they say that high polyphenolic oil is more stable in frying, deep frying. So 475 the Fahrenheit, but nobody cooks that
Is the
level.
highest temperature.
Right. I mean, you will have no food left if you cook that high. So most of the time, like when we cook at home, ours 185.
Yeah.
So you can keep the nutrition of your food as well as your oil, right? And so anyway, it's a really misunderstanding in consumers level that you cannot cook with olive oil. It's not true. Yes, you can cook, you can fry, you can stir fry, you can bake, you can do anything you want to do.
And even at restaurant level, deep frying
Absolutely.
is usually at what,
350.
350,
Yeah.
and olive oils are the most stable. It's the only oil you should be cooking with in
Right.
general, but it's the most stable, and you can use it twice as long in terms of reuse on a day-to-day basis compared to seed oil. So again, it's just a reiteration of the seed oil consortiums and other consumer groups, or consumer product groups that are trying to marginalize extra virgin olive oil, which is unfortunately ironic because it's the best and only oil you should be using for cooking and consuming. One of the other things is how much should a individual consume on a daily basis?
But it's different, like if you are in Europe in a Mediterranean base, they cook every day, every food, they bake with it. So of course you're gonna have more than 1 tablespoon a day, which is great because eating the olive oil all through the day, and also a lot of health involved
I
with
start off the
wellness.
day with a tablespoon,
Right.
just
I
by
was gonna
itself.
say that
Studies have
consultants,
shown,
right,
yeah.
showing that they want you to start 1 tablespoon, just taking it straight, and then utilize the rest of
And
the.
it's not like cod liver oil. Trust me. I remember as a kid scrunching up my face and holding my nose because cod liver oil was disgusting, and they used to give it to us every morning. Extra virgin olive oil and good extra virgin olive oil, specifically Oro Milas extra virgin
Taste,
olive oil,
yeah,
tastes like a
tastes
fruit
really good.
juice.
Yeah,
Every time we do tastings, people are just amazed because initially they're like, "You want me to taste oil?" And
and we
then we're
say
like, "It
yes.
doesn't taste like oil. It tastes like a fruit juice." And as soon as they taste it, they understand the difference. So yeah, consuming a tablespoon a morning, just to start your day is
Yeah,
a great way to get your
your
diet
body
going.
moving too.
Yeah, I mean the response from your body to the consumption of good high phenolic extra virgin olive oil is scientifically proven to be very helpful for your insulin production. It gets all your digestive systems working. The anti-inflammatory properties help your gut with inflammation, and then using it throughout the day, like we do. We use it in everything we do. We cook, we top, we
Some on our salad, we use them on our
we bake
toast,
with it if we're baking something. So I mean, we probably each consume at least 3 to 5 tablespoons a day.
maybe more.
Yeah, maybe more sometimes.
So the other question was, what do cold press and first press labels on the bottle means?
Yeah, this is where we get into some of the advertising and some of the labeling that's really important to understand, because there's been discussion about how the term cold process is a little misleading because people think that you're talking about going up to the Arctic or being in a refrigerator and processing your olive oil. It has nothing to do with that. It's
Right.
temperature dependent.
Right. So our goal is if it says cold press, needs to be less than 27 Celsius. So first press, I think that's for marketing people use.
Yeah, there's a whole marketing scheme associated with first press, which, I mean,
It's real
that's
oil
if you're doing,
always first press.
well, if you're doing early harvest, very early
Yeah.
harvest, there is a quality to that extra virgin olive oil
Instead of
that,
saying first press, it should say early harvest because you
well, they
can have
do.
a late harvest and still first press.
Right, but they're doing that now. They're calling it no nuevo or new novo. So it's a marketing thing. I don't know that there's any special benefit to first press novo press, but it is, better and more healthy to have your olive oil be early harvest than later harvest in terms of the health benefits
Right.
and the properties of the flavors and aromas. Oro de Milas is all early harvest.